In this lab, we're going to be using a simulation for our calorimeter experiment. The simulation runs in your web browser. We recommend either using the Google Chrome web browser or Firefox web browser, either on a Mac or a PC. When you load the simulation, it will load in a web browser page, and it'll look like this. If you want, you can click on full screen. It will go to full screen mode. To get out of full screen mode, you need to hit the escape key. I'm not going to use it in full screen mode. I find that it works fine in a small screen mode here, but if you want it in full screen mode, go ahead. Just remember to hit the escape key to get out. All right, I'm going to just show you a couple things about how to use this because there really aren't instructions. You just kind of play around and figure a lot out yourself, but I'll give you a few tips along the way. So here you can see our coffee cup. That's our coffee cup calorimeter. This is the lid. We're actually going to run it without the lid. There's a thermometer or temperature probe that resides in the coffee cup, and the temperature that's displayed is displayed here on the screen. And over here we have a graduated cylinder where we can add substances to the coffee cup, and this is for to collect our waste. We're not going to pour our chemical waste, even though it's virtual, down the drain. We're going to collect it in a proper container. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to add a substance here and see what happens. So I'm going to click on Add Substance, and I'm going to choose the substance I want to add. In this case, I'm going to choose 50 milliliters of 1 molar ammonia. And now I have to add this to the coffee cup. When I add this to the coffee cup, it's going to start recording temperature automatically. So here in the graph, we'll start to see a temperature being recorded. Okay. Shortly after adding it, and I'll do that in a second, shortly after adding it, you're going to want to add your second substance, and then you're going to observe the temperature change that results. So let's go ahead and add this first substance. And notice I can pick up this graduated cylinder, and if I hold down my mouse key, I can move it around. And then I'm going to go over here and add it to the coffee cup. It can be a bit tricky to add. Like if I go here, it doesn't add, right? So you actually have to kind of get the tip or the top of the graduated cylinder over the coffee cup. Then it adds, and now you can see it's starting to collect temperature. Now I want to act fairly quickly here because if I let too much time goes by, I may reach the end of the screen before my reaction is completed. So let's add some 1 molar nitric acid. Okay, and you can see that this acid-base reaction here is exothermic, giving off heat, and you can see the rise in temperature. And we're going to let this graph go for a while. And while we're watching it go, I'm going to mention a couple things. The graph will automatically stop when it reaches the end here. This graph, once it's level, you want to monitor where the temperature is. I can go ahead and stop it if I want to stop it a bit early. So now I stopped it here. And then I can move my mouse above any of these points to see what values they have. And of course, we're interested in the temperature value, which is the second value. So here's the initial value, which it started at 20 degrees Celsius in this particular case, and it looks like it ended at 26.3. Make sure you pay close attention. If I had picked something out over here, I would have gotten 26.1. Here I can see it's pretty much leveled off at 26.3, so I want to pick a data point from the very end where it's leveled off. And then you can use those data points, those temperature data points, to figure out the change in temperature. Now, if I want to restart this, closing graph will just make it disappear from the screen. If I go open graph, it comes back. To reset the graph, I have to empty the contents of my calorimeter. To do that, I'm going to pick up my calorimeter and put it into the hazardous waste container. And when it does that, it clears off the graph, and now I'm ready to start my next experiment. The temperature display here really is just for your information. You should be getting all of your readings and data from the graph. And it's that simple. When you're done, all you have to do is close your web browser, and your work is done.